What if the bottle of extra virgin olive oil sitting in your kitchen isn't actually what the label claims? And what if one of the world's most valuable food products has been surrounded by fraud claims for decades, involving millions of dollars and international investigations? Olive oil is often called liquid gold, but it's also one of the most misunderstood foods in the grocery store. You've probably heard dramatic claims online saying that 70% of olive oil is fake. But is that number actually true? Or is the reality much more complicated? In today's video, we're taking you inside the fascinating journey of olive oil, from centuries-old olive groves to state-of-the-art extraction facilities. We'll uncover exactly how real extra virgin olive oil is made, why freshness matters so much, and where the claims about counterfeit olive oil really come from. Let's begin where every bottle starts, on the tree. The olive harvest begins. Unlike many fruits, olives aren't picked simply when they're fully ripe. Farmers carefully decide when to harvest based on the flavor profile they want. Greener olives generally produce oils with peppery, grassy flavors and higher concentrations of beneficial polyphenols. Darker, riper olives usually create a milder, fruitier oil, but they often contain fewer of these natural antioxidants. Harvest season varies depending on the country and climate. In the Northern Hemisphere, major producers like Spain, Italy, Greece, Portugal, and California usually harvest between October and January. In the Southern Hemisphere, countries such as Australia, Chile, and Argentina harvest around April through July. Many premium producers begin harvesting earlier than necessary, even though this means producing less oil per olive. Why? Because earlier harvesting often results in better flavor, greater stability, and higher quality extra virgin olive oil. How olives are picked. Harvesting olives isn't as simple as shaking an apple tree. Since bruised olives quickly begin to deteriorate, growers handle them with great care. Traditional farms still harvest by hand, gently picking olives into baskets or nets. This method is slow and expensive, but minimizes damage. Larger commercial farms often use mechanical trunk shakers that vibrate the trees, causing olives to fall onto large collection nets spread beneath them. Some modern orchards are planted in neat hedgerows, specifically designed for over-the-row harvesting machines. These machines, similar to grape harvesters, can harvest thousands of pounds of olives in just a few hours. Regardless of the method, speed is critical. The highest quality producers aim to get freshly harvested olives to the mill within just a few hours. Waiting too long allows enzymes and microorganisms to begin breaking down the fruit, reducing both quality and flavor. This rapid processing is one of the defining characteristics of premium extra virgin olive oil. Sorting and cleaning. Once the olives arrive at the mill, every batch undergoes inspection. Leaves, twigs, small stones, and dirt must all be removed before processing begins. Powerful air blowers separate lighter leaves from the heavier olives. The fruit is then washed with clean water to remove dust, soil, and any remaining debris. At this stage, workers also remove damaged, moldy, or rotten olives whenever possible. This matters because just a small number of poor quality olives can noticeably affect the flavor of an entire batch. Crushing the olives. Instead of peeling or removing the pit first, the entire olive, including its flesh, skin, and pit, is crushed together. Historically, giant granite millstones slowly rolled over the olives to create a thick paste. Some traditional mills still use this centuries-old method, especially for demonstrations or specialty production. Today, however, Most commercial producers rely on stainless steel hammer mills or blade crushers. Within seconds, whole olives are transformed into a thick green paste that contains tiny droplets of oil mixed with water and solid olive particles. The crushing process breaks open millions of plant cells, releasing the oil trapped inside the fruit. But surprisingly, no oil is collected yet. There's still another critical step before extraction. Malaxation. The freshly crushed olive paste is slowly mixed in large stainless steel tanks. This process is called malaxation. Although it sounds simple, it's one of the most carefully controlled stages of olive oil production. During gentle mixing, tiny droplets of oil gradually combine into larger droplets, making them much easier to separate later. Temperature is extremely important. To qualify for what's commonly marketed as cold extracted or cold pressed, the olive paste must generally remain below 27 degrees Celsius or about 80.6 degrees Fahrenheit during extraction. Keeping temperatures low helps preserve delicate aromas, flavors, and valuable antioxidant compounds. However, lower temperatures also reduce oil yield. This creates a trade-off. Some lower-grade producers may use higher temperatures to extract more oil from the same amount of olives, but doing so can reduce flavor quality and accelerate oxidation. Premium producers usually prioritize quality over quantity. Malaxation generally lasts between 20 and 45 minutes. Too little mixing means lower oil recovery. Too much mixing exposes the paste to oxygen, which can begin degrading the oil before it's even bottled. Separating the oil. Once malaxation is complete, it's finally time to separate the oil from everything else. Centuries ago, olive paste was spread onto woven fiber mats that were stacked and squeezed using massive hydraulic presses. This is where the famous phrase, cold pressed, originally came from. While some traditional producers still use presses, the overwhelming majority of modern olive oil is extracted using centrifuges. Inside these high-speed machines, centrifugal force separates materials according to their density. The olive paste divides into three components. First comes the oil. Second is vegetation water, which naturally exists inside the olives. Third is the remaining solid material, called pomace, consisting of skin, pulp, and crushed pits. Modern two-phase and three-phase centrifuge systems perform this separation quickly while reducing oxidation and preserving freshness. The freshly extracted oil often appears cloudy because it still contains tiny particles of olive fruit and microscopic droplets of water suspended throughout the liquid. Many consumers actually associate this cloudy appearance with freshness, although cloudiness itself isn't necessarily an indicator of higher quality. Filtering, storage, and bottling. After extraction, producers have an important decision to make. Should they filter the oil or leave it unfiltered? Filtering removes tiny pieces of olive pulp and microscopic water droplets that remain suspended in the oil. While some people enjoy the rustic appearance of cloudy, unfiltered olive oil, those leftover particles can shorten the oil's shelf life because they continue to break down over time. That's why many premium producers choose to filter their oil soon after extraction. Next comes storage. Fresh olive oil is surprisingly delicate. Its biggest enemies are oxygen, heat, and light. Exposure to any of these speeds up oxidation, gradually dulling the fresh flavors and aromas that make extra virgin olive oil so special. To slow this process, quality producers store oil in large stainless steel tanks. Many also replace the air above the oil with nitrogen, an inert gas that helps prevent oxidation. When it's finally time for bottling, dark green glass, tinted bottles, or metal tins are often preferred because they block sunlight far better than clear containers. If you've ever wondered why premium olive oil rarely comes in transparent bottles, now you know. What makes olive oil extra virgin? Not all olive oils are created equal. The highest grade is extra virgin olive oil, often abbreviated as EVOO. But becoming extra virgin involves far more than marketing. According to internationally recognized standards, extra virgin olive oil must be extracted using mechanical methods only. No chemical solvents or excessive heat are allowed. It must also meet strict chemical requirements, including low free acidity, and pass sensory evaluation by trained tasting panels. Experts check for positive characteristics, like fruitiness, while ensuring there are no defects such as rancid, musty, moldy, or wine-like flavors. If the oil fails these quality standards, it cannot legally be sold as extra virgin in markets that follow these grading systems. Other common categories include virgin olive oil, which has slightly more defects but is still mechanically extracted, and refined olive oil, which is chemically or physically processed to remove undesirable flavors and odors before often being blended with some virgin olive oil for taste. Understanding these categories helps explain why prices can vary so dramatically on store shelves. So, is 70% of olive oil really fake? Now let's tackle the claim you've probably seen all over social media. 70% of olive oil is fake. It certainly grabs attention. But the evidence doesn't support such a simple or universal number. This figure is widely repeated online, yet there is no current scientific consensus or global study showing that 70% of all olive oil sold today is counterfeit. So where did the claim come from? Much of it traces back to older investigations, regional studies, and media reports highlighting serious cases of olive oil fraud. Some studies found that many bottles labeled as extra virgin failed quality tests in specific markets at specific points in time. In many cases, the oil wasn't dangerous or entirely fake. It simply didn't meet the chemical or sensory standards required to be classified as extra virgin. In other words, the label overstated the quality. What olive oil fraud actually looks like. One example is mislabeling lower-grade olive oil as extra virgin to sell it at a higher price. Another is blending olive oil with cheaper refined olive oils while marketing the mixture as premium quality. Fraudsters have also been caught falsely claiming a prestigious country of origin. A bottle labeled as being produced entirely in Italy may actually contain oils blended from several different countries if labeling laws are violated. How can you buy better olive oil? First, check the harvest date if it's listed. Freshness matters more than the bottling date. Olive oil is best enjoyed relatively soon after harvest rather than stored for years. Second, choose bottles packaged in dark glass or metal containers that protect the oil from light. Third, don't automatically assume the most expensive bottle is the best. Instead, look for producers that provide clear information about harvest location, production methods, and quality certifications. Many respected producers voluntarily participate in certification programs or quality seals that require regular testing. And once you get the bottle home, store it properly. Keep it tightly sealed in a cool, dark place, away from the stove or direct sunlight. Heat and light can degrade even the finest extra virgin olive oil surprisingly quickly. Olive oil has been part of human civilization for thousands of years, and despite advances in technology, the basic process remains beautifully simple. If you enjoyed learning how one of the world's oldest foods is made, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel,